a quadratic equation is given to us. They say we should find the value of k in this quadratic equation that will make this equation here to have equal roots. It's a question on discriminant. A question on what, somebody? The reason is that for a quadratic equation to have equal roots, the discriminant must be equal to what, somebody? So what am I going to do? I will go to the quadratic equation. X squared minus 2kx plus 1 equal to 0. You know what I'm going to do? I'll bring out the values of a, b, c. Values of what, somebody? What is your a? Do we all know that a is 1, Abi? Because a means the coefficient of what? X squared. Is that true? So I will write like this. A is equal to 1. Can we continue? What should be our b? Huh? What's our b? What is our b? What should we be? Shh. Minus 2k. Who has anything different from that as the value of b? Anything that surrounds x, be it a number or a variable, whatever thing that surrounds x, whether in front or behind is the coefficient of x. Is it what, somebody? If somebody gives you something like this, 3axy, and they ask you, what is the coefficient of x here? Class, what's the answer? What's the answer? 3ay. That's what it is. This is x. Whatever thing that surrounds it, so long as it's not plus or minus, everything surrounding x that is multiplying x is the coefficient of x. So in this case, see my x. Hello, are you looking at the board? That's x. What is it that follows that x? Minus 2k. That's your b. That's your what, somebody? So I will write it that my b is equal to minus 2k. Class, what should be your c? What's your c? Our c is 1. The man without a variable. The man without who, somebody? A variable. But the question gave us an information that the quadratic equation has equal roots. Has what, somebody? What is the condition for a quadratic equation to have equal roots? Discriminant must be equal to what? 0. So I will do like this. Watch me. Discriminant d must be equal to 0. Because we are told that the quadratic equation has equal what? Roots. But class, what is the formula for discriminant? Talk to me. B squared minus 4ac. That's discriminant. And it must be equal to what? 0. So what are we going to do? We will go to this condition. Anywhere we see b, we write what? Minus 2k. Where you see a, class, what do you write? 1. And where you see c, what do you write? 1. So follow me. This is b squared, so I'm going to write minus 2k all squared. Be careful with this. This is not the same thing as minus 2k squared. Now, discriminant is equal to 0. Why? We are told that the quadratic equation has equal what, somebody? Roots. What did I do? I stated the formula for discriminant, which is b squared minus 4ac. I equated it to 0. Now we are making substitutions. Where you see b, you write minus 2k, which is this. Are we all doing this in together? Remember, what you have there is b squared. So it will be minus 2k all what? Square. Not minus 2k, you go put square just on top of k. No. All right. That's minus 2k all square. Minus 4a, that is 4a. Class, what is our a? 1. Times c. What's our c? Equal to what? 0. Okay? Let me see how your brain is working this morning. What is minus 2k all raised to the power of 2? What should it be? What should it be? What should it be? 4k squared. Who doesn't know why it is 4k squared? We can explain it. Feel free. Is anybody here that doesn't know why it should be 4k squared? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Watch. You have minus 2k raised to the power of 2, Abi. In mass, anything raised to the power 2 means that thing times itself. So this thing means minus 2k times minus 2k. Are you with me? Now, minus times minus is what? Plus. 2 times 2, 4. K times k, k squared. That is 4k squared. Are you okay with that? So I will write here now, 4k squared minus 4. Abi? Equal to what, class? 0. Can I carry this minus 4 to the other side? Huh? If it crosses the sign of equality, what happens to the sign? So it means that 4k squared is equal to 4. Abi? Can I divide the two sides by 4? So if I say dividing by 4, this place will become what now? K squared is equal to what, class? 1. How do I remove the square here? Taking the square root of both sides. No be so? Did I teach you that anytime you're taking square root, you must put what? Plus or minus. Do you remember? So this place is going to be k is equal to plus or minus square root of 1. And what is the square root of 1? 1. So what is our answer now? Plus or minus 1. That's your result. You have found the value of k right up to that point. Ask any question that bothers you. Don't write what you don't know. Anything that confuses you, ask. We should be able to explain it. Can we continue? Assuming this question had said, for what value of k? Write in your note, example 2. For what value of k? For what value of k will this quadratic equation have real roots? For what value of k will this quadratic equation, exactly the thing you did before, have real roots? For what? Find k, given that the equation here has real roots. That is example 2. Now let's do this together. The question is, for what value of k will the quadratic equation has what, somebody? This time around they didn't say equal roots, but they said what, somebody? Real roots. Find, if I write it as, find the range of values of x, of k. Find the range of values of k for which the equation has equal roots. Range of values of k for which the equation has equal roots. Let's do that together. Find the range of values of k for which this equation has equal roots. Do we progress? There's nothing new here. The only thing new is that they said the quadratic equation has real roots. Has what, somebody? Instead of what now? Equal roots. So your condition of discriminant will change. Concentrate. It means that b squared minus 4ac will be what now? Will be what? Greater than 0. This is the condition for a quadratic equation to have real roots. Discriminant must be greater than 0. Is that okay? Yes. So we're going to do the same thing we did before. Go to the quadratic equation and bring out the values of a, b, c. That we have done before. Class, what is our a? Again, 1. What's our b? Minus 2k. And our c is what? 1. We go to the condition. B squared minus 4ac. So I will write minus 2k, you square it, minus 4 times 1 times 1. That must be greater than what? 0. So 4k squared minus 4 must be greater than what? 0. Now, it means that if you look at what you have here, 4k squared minus 4 is greater than 0. Can we factorize here? Huh? What's common? What's common? Huh? If you factorize, you're supposed to have something like 4k squared. Or rather, somebody can write 4 into k squared minus what? 1. Is that true? Check it out. Check it out. Check, 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 check. Is that what I have? Greater than what? Greater than what? Can we divide both sides by 4? Can we divide both sides of the inequality by 4? Huh? Can we do that? So if I say dividing both sides by 4, what are we going to have? Talk to me. We now have k squared minus 1 is greater than what? 0. Are we still looking at the board? Eh? Is anybody confused? 4 is common here. C4, C4. I brought 4 outside. 4k squared divide by 4. That means 4 will cancel 4. Where is your mind? Where is your mind? Bring your mind here now. Your mind went to somewhere. 4k squared divide by 4. 4 will cancel 4, leaving us with k squared. Bring down your minus. 4 divided by 4, 1. Now I'm dividing both sides by 4. If you divide this place by 4, 4 will cancel 4. Abi? Greater than 0 over 4. Don't be so? And 0 over 4 means what? 0. So we now have that k squared minus 1 is greater than what? 0. Now, are you aware of what we call difference of two squares? Do you know what is difference? What's difference? Minus, Abi? Difference is the answer you get after subtraction. Abi? Is that true? Watch this. Don't write anything. Don't write anything. Be watching. We are still teaching, okay? Don't write. We are discussing difference of two squares. Now, if somebody gives you a square minus b squared, this is difference of two squares. Square, another square. How many squares are here? 2 squares. Separated by what? Difference. That's minus sign. That is difference of 2 squares. The rule says when you have difference of 2 squares, you just watch the basis. Watch the word, somebody. You tell them the difference between the bases, a minus b, multiplied by the sum of the bases, a plus b. That's difference of 2 squares. Did you understand? Huh? Huh? So if I give you something like k squared minus 16, and I say factorize. I say what, somebody? Factorize this. K squared minus 16 squared. That's moi moi. I can rewrite this as k squared minus 4 squared. No be so? Do we now have difference of 2 squares? Are we reasoning together? So, difference between the bases will be k minus 4 times, what's the sum of the bases? K plus 4. Job don't finish. Oh. Class, I'm going to use that concept here. This is k squared minus 1. Do you know that this can be written as k squared minus 1 squared? Are you aware? After all, 1 square is still the same thing as what? 1. Are we reasoning together? Somebody, they hide the right. When I turn you right, why are you stealing it? You have paid for the tutorial. Everything on this board belongs to you. Just watch the board. Follow the guru step by step. Whatever I write or say, if you don't understand, you ask me at that spot. Is that okay? What did I do? I brought down k squared. I didn't change anything. Brought down minus. Nothing changed. This is 1. I know as much as you do that 1 square is still the same thing as 1. Because I'm teaching, that's why I still wrote this as 1 square. So that you as the guru students, the guru species, can see clearly that there is difference of 2 squares. There is what, somebody? Greater than 0. Now I can apply the difference of 2 squares. What's the rule again? What's the rule for difference of 2 squares? What did I go write? K minus 1 times, or not too much, k plus 1. It must be greater than what? 0. Class, once you solve this mass up to this point, this is where the conundrum lies. Where what lies? That's the, the puzzle, the onus of the matter. The what, somebody? Right up to that point, because there's something we want to do there. Very technical. We are solving problems where we need to apply the nature of discriminants. The first question we solved, they said we should look for the value of k if the quadratic equation has equal roots. I invoked my application of discriminant because I know that for quadratic equation to have equal roots, the discriminant must be equal to what? 0. In the second problem, they gave me a quadratic equation and they want me to find the value or the range of values of k that will make the quadratic equation have what, somebody? Real roots. I, as the guru, I remembered that before a quadratic equation can have real roots, the discriminant must, not may, must be greater than what, somebody? 0. So that's the job. I now wrote b squared minus 4ac must be greater than 0. I made my substitutions and started simplifying. I started doing what, somebody? Simplifying. Have you written up to this point? Now, class, suspend everything you're doing now, 100%. If I close all the notes, we have come to something new. This is the news of the day. All notes closed. Let's do something together. We are solving this problem and we got k minus 1 times k plus 1 is greater than 0. Class, is that true? Now watch what we are going to do. It's technical. It confuses people a lot. You're going to draw what we call number line. What we call what, somebody? Number line. Number line is straight horizontal line like this. In number line, the middle, the center, represents 0. Represents what, somebody? 0. Now this place means minus infinity. Means what, somebody? Infinity means endless. Minus infinity. And this place means what? Plus infinity. Are we looking at the board? Now, this is k minus 1. Assuming k minus 1 is equal to 0. Class, what will be k? What will be k? Oh, not too much. Assuming k plus 1 is equal to 0. What should be k? So I will go to my number line. I will locate minus 1 should be at the negative part. Left-hand side of 0. Abi? You told me if k minus 1 is equal to 0, k should be what? 1. Is 1 positive or negative? Do I write it right or left? So I will come to this side and write plus 1. Follow me, oh. Once you do that, for clarity purpose and avoidance of doubt, you bring the regions out. I'm redrawing. This is minus infinity to plus infinity. Are we there, somebody? The first point I have here is minus 1. Abio, don't write 0 again. Next point I have is what? Plus 1. So there are 3 identifiable regions. This is region A, this is region B, this is region C. What I'm solving now is inequality. Is what, somebody? Inequality. This must be done. It's not a style. No shortcut. You must pass through the manual labor of the number line. So long as it involves inequality, quadratic inequality, this you must do. Okay, class. How many regions do we have here? How many regions? The first region is from minus infinity to where? From minus infinity to where? What's the second region? Minus 1. Waiting. What's your problem with 0? Is there any 0 here again? What's the second region? Minus 1 to? And what's the last region? Plus 1 to what? Plus infinity. Now, be watching. You know, I told you it's technical. It's cry inducing. It's cry what, somebody? Inducing. I've never taught this topic and people did not cry. I don't know why you haven't started crying. It's always cry inducing. It's always what, somebody? So try to resist the cry. I haven't done anything serious, so I drew horizontal line. The center is 0. This side is negative. This side is positive. So it's from minus infinity to plus infinity. Is that a manual labor? No. I now went to this place. K minus 1 times k plus 1 is greater than 0. We now said, if k plus 1 is equal, if k plus 1 is equal to 0, k is minus 1. You locate minus 1. If k minus 1 is equal to 0, what is k? 1. You locate plus 1. This 0 here enabled you to know left and right. To know what, somebody? But once you put the points, redraw and remove the 0. So you have 3 identifiable what, somebody? Regions. Are we still together? Class, watch this. Can somebody pick a number? Pick one number that is in the first region, region A. Minus. Is minus 2 there? Is minus 2 there? Of course, minus 2 is there. So we are doing what we call testing the region. Testing the region. Watch. Minus 2 is here. I'm taking minus 2 now. Watch. You go to this place. Anywhere you see k, put minus 2. We are testing. That will be minus 2 minus 1. Is that true, class? Hello. Times. Let me know whether you follow me. What's the next thing I'm going to write? Minus 2 plus 1. Class, what is minus 2 minus 1? Minus. It's negative, Abi. What is minus 2 plus 1? Minus 2 plus 1. Is it also negative, Abi? What is minus times minus plus? This is called positive region. Should I repeat it? Should I repeat? Good. I came to region A. We are in region A. Take any number in region A. Somebody proposed minus 2, and the person is correct. Because here you have minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5, minus 6, up to negative infinity. Don't be so? So minus 2 is there. So you come to this place. Anywhere you see k, put minus 2. You can even do it straight. That will be minus 2 minus 1, which is minus 3, times minus 2 plus 1, which is minus 1. So that means minus 3 times minus 1. And minus times minus gives us what? Plus. It means that this region is a positive what? Region. Should I continue? We go to region B. Can somebody choose a number in region B? Why do you like decimal? Whole number no day. 0 is there. Is 0 not in region B? Is 0 in region B? Is there. Now follow me. I'm testing region B with 0. So that is going to be 0 minus 1. Are you sure we are together? Times what, class? Talk to me. Are we reasoning together? Class, are we still alive? What is 0 minus 1? Times. What is 0 plus 1? 0 plus 1. Okay, that's plus 1. What is minus times plus? So this is negative region. Are we alive? Do we continue? Class, we go to the last region. Can somebody choose a number in region C? Eh? Plus 2, there, Abi. So we can play with plus 2. Ngwa. Plus 2 is here. Let's test with it. Talk to me. What do I write here now? 2 minus 1 times what? Can you see that you're beginning to know this thing more than I do? So what is it going to be? Talk to me. 1 times 3. Class, this times this, is it positive or negative? So region C is a positive region. Ladies and gentlemen, go back to what you're solving. Watch. They said K minus 1 times K plus 1 is greater than 0, Abi? Hello, is what? For something to be greater than 0, can that thing be negative? Can it be negative? That means that thing is what? Positive. It means that go to the number line. Go to where, somebody? The number line. Avoid any region that is negative. That's why I was doing those testing. I want the regions I will consider and the regions I will ignore. Why am I avoiding the regions that are negative? Because we are solving for real root greater than 0. So we don't want any region that is negative. Therefore, I will draw my number line in such a way that negative is avoided. Negative is what, somebody? Avoided. I'm going to watch. I'll do like this. See me, I don't draw this at minus 1. You go to plus 1. You draw. Are you watching? Now, we don't want to touch this negative region. If I draw my arrow like this, it will touch this negative region. Abi? I will draw my arrow in such a way that I will avoid the negative region. So I will draw like this. Can you see what I have now? Are you looking at the board? I drew it to face like this so that it doesn't touch this negative region. So that means that what I have drawn means K is less than minus 1. K is what, somebody? Because the arrow is facing like this. Why did I draw the arrow to face like this, class? Who knows? To avoid what? Negative. Why am I avoiding negative? We are solving for what? Greater than 0. Is it making sense to us? Now I will come to plus 1. Watch, watch, watch. I want to draw my arrow, ladies and gentlemen. Do I draw it like this or like that? Like this or like that? Somebody do like this. Do I draw like this or like that? Because I need to avoid the negative region, Abi. So I will draw like waiting, like this. Or not too much. So I will do like this. This thing I have drawn, is it greater than 1 or less than 1? Hey, that means that K is greater than what, somebody? 1. Class, I don't finish you. It means that the range of values of S you are asked to get will be K less than minus 1 or K greater than 1. Settled in heaven. Settled where, somebody? But wait, hold on. Shh. Wait. Assuming this question said, find the range of values of K for which the quadratic equation has complex roots. For which the quadratic equation has what, somebody? Complex root. Will I say greater than, discriminant greater than 0 or less than 0? In that case, will I be in love with the negative region or with the positive region? So which of the regions will be a leprosy now? So I will avoid positive region, Abi, and embrace which region? That means my drawing will go like this. When you come here, you do like this, Abi. When you call like this, you do like this, answer will change. So that you don't think that what we are doing is just a style, it's a rehearsal. It's something you must do. Your answer will change. This place will be what now? K greater than -1. Abi? Hello, class? And what will this place be? K what? Less than 1. Because it's going like this, Abi? So that will form a range. It will form what, somebody? A range. Watch me. Watch. If K is greater than -1, that means that -1 is less than K. Is that true? Think. If K is greater than -1, it means that -1 is less than K, Nabi. And the same K is less than what? The same K is less than what? 1. It becomes a range. This will be your answer. Assuming they say, what will be the range of values of K that will make the quadratic equation has what, somebody? Complex roots. Did you understand? Go right up to that point. Yes. That's what I'm teaching now. This one will not be a range. You write it this or this. If you write them as range, you don't fail. That day you will see this range I wrote now. You will see this answer. This is the option. This is what it should be. Once your diagram is like this, hello. Once your diagram is like this, it will not be a range. It will be this or this. But if your diagram is like this, it forms a range. Write your answer somewhere and bring for me. Number 1. Okay, let me see what you have. Number 1 of the day. Who is number 2? Number 2, submit. Number 2. We are waiting for number 3. Write your number. Remember, we are interested in the accuracy and speed. Let's do it together. And let's see who wins the money this morning at the gurus. Now watch. Shh. This is inequality. Suspended. Leave your calculator now. Punch. Punctuate. Just look at the board. Even if mosquito is biting you now, allow it to do its job. Do we start? Class, this is a quadratic inequality. Quadratic what, somebody? So the first thing I'm going to do is to factorize. Is to do what, somebody? Factorize the left-hand side. If it is not factorizable, solve the quadratic equation and get the roots. And get the what, somebody? The roots. Are you reasoning with me? If it's factorizable, factorize. If it's not factorizable, take it out and equate to 0. Then solve it. Then do what, somebody? Solve it. To get the points that will be on the number line. That will be where, somebody? On the number line. But I think it's factorizable. I'm looking for 2 numbers. Watch. First, you will use these 2 here, coefficient of s squared, and multiply 6. That is 2 times 6. Class, what's the result? 12. Every eye should be on the board now, not on your book. On the board, yes. You don't like board? Look at the board. This is 2. Use these 2 to multiply 6. That will give you 12. Are we comfortable with that? Now I will use my brain. Use your head now. There are people that use their head to carry only load. Use it to reason. Use it to do what, somebody? Reason. Think of 2 numbers that when you multiply them, it will give you this 12 you got here. But if you add them, if you add the 2 of them together, You have this minus 8, coefficient of x. Two numbers that the sum will be minus 8. And the product will be what, class? You're not talking to me. 12. Beautiful you. 12. Who has reasoned out something? What and what? Minus 2 minus 6. Let's try it. Somebody said minus 2 and minus 6. Let us test it. Is somebody watching the board? I am testing to know whether the two numbers satisfy the conditions here. First, let's get their sum. Minus 2 plus minus 6. That will be minus 2 plus times minus is what? Minus 6. Class, what's the result? Minus 8. Okay. It satisfies the first condition. Let's check the second condition. Product. Minus 2 times minus 6. Minus times minus is what? Plus. He said minus times minus is 8. Who said that? Minus times minus is what? Plus. 2 times is 12. That means the two numbers are in order. Their sum gave minus 8. And their product gave what? Their product gave what? Their product gave what? Class, watch what I'm going to do. Follow the way I'm factorizing. I will go and take this place. Look at this place. Minus 2 minus 6. We got it as minus 8. Is that true, somebody? Now, you know what I'm going to do? Watch me. I will put x, x, x in their front. If it is true that minus 2 minus 6 is minus 8, it means that minus 2x minus 6x, follow the guru's pattern, is equal to what, class? Minus 8x. Therefore, class, I will come back to the equation, the expression I'm factorizing. Anywhere you see minus 8x, rewrite it as what, somebody? Can you open your mouth? As what, somebody?
Minus 2x minus 6x.
You know the nomenclature. You do. So I will do like this. 2x squared. Instead of minus 8x, what do I write now? Minus 2x minus 6x. Then you write what, somebody? Plus 6. Remember, is greater than what? 0. Now we factorize. We do what, somebody? Factorize. Class, so is there anything common to the two men here? What's common? What's common? Do we all know it's 2s? Okay. You see, you're becoming demi-gurus. 2s squared divided by 2s. 2 and 2 will cancel. S squared will cancel s to give us what? X minus, bring down this minus. 2s divided by 2s is what? 1. Okay, now. Bring down your minus. You're factorizing, what is common between 6s and 6? 6 is common. You open bracket. Minus 6s divided by minus 6. What's the result? X. The minus will make this plus to become what? Minus. 6 divided by 6 is what? 1. Is less than what, class? 0. Can you see something that is common here? Class, what's common? What's common? You take one of them. Follow me. I will write x minus 1. What do we have outside the bracket? 2s what? Minus 6. And they say it's less than what? 0. We have come to where the conundrum lies. This is the mathematical Tomankasa. Mathematical what, somebody? Mathematical Zigizaga. The mathematical Gwangwam. Mathematical what? I will assume. I will do what, somebody? Assume that that thing is not less than 0. That it's equal to what? 0. If I assume it to be equal to 0, you know it's not equal to 0, I'm assuming, so I will go to one corner. I'll go to where, somebody? One corner. I'll go to one corner and say, let x minus 1 times 2s minus 6 be equal to 0, such that s minus 1 equal to 0. Class, what is s there? 1. Is that true, somebody? 2s minus 6 equal to 0. That means 2s will be equal to what? 6. Class, what is s now? 6 over 2 equal to what? 3. So we do like this. Watch me. Oh. This is my 0. From minus infinity to where, somebody? Plus infinity. What are we going to do again? So I will draw another number line so that I can remove the 0. Abi? So this is minus infinity. 0 is no longer there. The first point I have is what? 1. A, B, C. Are we doing this thing together? Ngwa, take one point, one number in this region, quickly. One number from minus infinity to 1, it says 0. Eh? 0 self is here now. Is 0 not here? 0 is there. So let us use 0. So let's use 0. Let's use 0. Put 0 here. What do you have here remaining? 0 minus 1 is what? Are you looking at the board? What is 0 minus 1? Minus 1. That's minus 1. Put 0 here. 2 times 0 will give you 0, Abi. 0 minus 6 is what? Minus 6. So you have minus 1 times minus 6. What's the result? Plus 6. So this region is a positive region. Did you understand? Did you understand? Now, we go to next region. From 1 to 3, choose one number. Is 2 there? Is 2 there? Now, so let's test. Let's test. We are testing 2 here now. 2 minus 1 is what? 2 minus 1, 1. 2 times 2, 4. 4 minus 6, minus 2. So 1 times minus 2 is what? Minus 2. So this is a negative region. Do you follow me? Okay. We go to the last region. 3 and above. Is 4 here? Can I test 4? Well, let's test. Let's test 4. Let's test. 4 minus 1 is what? 3. 2 times 4, 8. 8 minus 6, 2. 3 times 2 is what? 6. Positive. So this is a positive what, somebody? Region. But wait, too. Less than 0. Less than 0. For something to be less than 0, can that thing be negative or positive? Something that is less than 0, is it negative or positive? For something to be less than 0, can that thing ever be positive? So we are not interested in the positive what? Region. Any positive region is a taboo. It's what, somebody? So let's draw. I'll go to 1. See 1 here. I'll move up. Move up. How do I go? Remember, less than 0. Less than 0. If I go like this, I will touch positive, Abi. Are you reasoning with me? So can I go like this? I must go this way because I'm interested in negative, Abi. Well, we come to this place. Follow me, oh. Should I go like this? If I go like this, who I go touch? Positive. Do I want to touch positive? I'm not. I don't want to touch positive. I don't want to touch positive. I only want to touch what? Negative. So, that's why I went like this. Ngwa class, when you're going like this, is this greater than 1 or less than 1? Movement like this, is it greater or less? So this place means that x is greater than 1. No be so? How about this place? You went like this. What does it mean? Is it less than 3 or greater than 3? You're not talking to me, oh. That means x is what? Less than 3. Bring out the information. First one is x greater than 1. And the next one is what? X less than 3. Can you see that they are facing each other? So it will form a range. It will form what, somebody? A range. If x is greater than 1, that means that 1 is less than x. Is that true? And that x is less than what? 3. This is the range of values of x that satisfies the inequality. Ngwaseke up to that point.